You might be doing your makeup perfectly, but there are still 5 things that you might be doing that are subtly aging your face. Hello, gorgeous girl. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hello, I'm Tracy. I'm a lover of all things fitness, wellness, beauty, makeup, skincare, all the good stuff. But here's the thing. We all can agree in this community that aging is a gift. It is a privilege. But let's be honest. We all want to look our best. And if that means being able to trick the eye by shaving a few years off, come on, we all would like to do that. So there are certain little things that we might be doing that seem so innocent, but when you fix them and you aren't doing those things that are subtly aging you, you're gonna have people coming up to you being like, oh my gosh, you look so good. What have you done? In fact, one of my greatest compliments I get here on YouTube is people asking me if I've had plastic surgery. Spoiler alert, I have not ever had plastic surgery, ever. But I find it as a great compliment. I go, great, all of my skincare and little tips and tricks that I do are working. So let's dive in. So huge mistake that we all have fallen prey to, and I know I used to do this too, is especially if you're over the age of 40, you cannot do your makeup, and specifically your foundation, your skincare, whatever you're putting as like your base layer, you cannot do it the same way that you did it in your 20s for so many reasons. But one reason that people don't often think about is that we start losing contrast in our face with age. It's such a drag. You know, I have a lot of gray hair, and my gray hair is all around like my hairline and the top of my head. I'm also quite pale, so what does that do? It makes everything sort of the same color. My eyebrows are graying, but we even lose like fullness in our lips, and all of that brings natural like shadows and light and play to our face. And when we lose that with age, you just start looking flat. You just start looking gray. You just don't have that like vibrancy that we once had in our youth. So the number one thing that you do want to do is start adding contrast to your face. So, you know those makeup videos where the girl will take like the applicator and put it like on top of her face and like kind of coat her face with like this like sheet of makeup? We absolutely cannot do that. Unless, of course, the corpse look is the look that you're going for, because we have lost our natural contrast. In my opinion, I really believe that as we get older, less is more, less foundation, less coverage. Why? Because all of that makeup, it's gonna just seep into your pores. It's gonna seep into any fine lines and wrinkles that you might have. It just makes you look dustier, drier, and quite frankly, older. So what you do want to do is do things like play with contrast. Using bronzer. There's not a day, there is literally not a day that I cannot live without bronzer. And the placement of your bronzer, really, really important. I always shade on my forehead, I do my cheekbones, I do a little bit in here, and it's to bring back that natural contrast. My root spray, that is a form of contrast, right? Spraying along my hairline so that my hair is a little bit darker around my face so that there's a little bit more contrast. Filling in your eyebrows, adding contrast. The way we do our lips, that's gonna add contrast to your face. And all of those little things together, it's gonna just make you appear more youthful, more vibrant. It's gonna shave years off of your face. So no more, ladies, we are not doing that like, you know, beauty blender and having like one just sheet of foundation anymore. We really cannot do that. It's more about playing with the textures and playing with contrast in your face. That's gonna trick the eye into thinking that you're 10, 15 years younger, and that's not a bad thing. All right, your hair is huge. Your hair can make you look older or make you look younger. Now, let's talk about the health of your hair. Obviously, we wanna make sure that you have good, healthy hair, that you're taking really good care of it, but the color of your hair, this is key, can really age you or make you look more youthful, more vibrant, more alive. I have like a living journal, a living diary, because I've been on YouTube since 2010. So for the last 15 years, there are videos of me in varying hair colors. There was a point where my hair was very, very blonde, almost like a whitish blonde, which kind of, in my opinion, really washed me out. So I had to wear a lot more makeup, which is not it. Then there was a period after I had my daughter where I was trying to not highlight my hair, and I had this kind of like weird, I don't even know, it was like a murky sort of color. And now we've landed at this, which is actually home hair color. I do it myself. But here's the reason why I really do believe that this really works. Number one, it looks more natural. Number two, obviously it gives me the control. But because of the color, it's a more warm, natural color. So adding more warmth, adding a little bit more of a warmer tone to your hair is going to make you appear more youthful. Now, I know someone here is going to say, but Tracy, I have silver hair and I've let myself go natural. I love that. I love that. I think it looks so chic. I think it looks so elegant. But the truth of the matter is, having gray or silver hair, you are going to have to add a lot more contrast to your face. It's just fact. It's just girl math, right? Because that coolness around your face is going to make you look a little bit more gray, right? It's just tone on tone. So you'll have to play with your makeup a little bit more if you do choose to go natural. So if you aren't choosing to go gray or go silver, it's really important that you add a little bit more warmth. That's going to warm up your skin tone. And unfortunately, as we age, our skin color starts losing some of that natural warmth to it. So again, it's all smoke and mirrors. So you got to play with what you've got. So again, whether you choose to be a natural silver fox or whether you choose to dye your hair, get it colored, whatever, warmth is key. And if you're doing the gray, warmth in the skin and the face and in your makeup and in your clothes, right? And if you're coloring your hair, it makes it just a little bit easier to add that warmth just by nature of your hair. This one is key, and I feel like it is so often overlooked, and that is your teeth. Your teeth can make you look older, and I don't feel like people really consider this enough. When we get older, our teeth tend to get more yellowy, get stains, look more dull. But on the flip side, listen up. I also think that having those super, super white veneers, listen, I watch a lot of reality TV, and like almost every second season, someone's on the show, they get their teeth done. And I think it just looks crazy. So we do want a whiter, brighter smile, but not too much. So something that I've implemented over the last over a year is using Lumino as a natural teeth whitening system. And I'm telling you, this is really next level. I love how easy it is to fit into my life. I use their toothpaste every single day, and I really love having the confidence of knowing that they use natural and certified non-toxic ingredients like dead sea salts and essential oils to whiten and brighten your teeth. And it's something that I often get commented on here on YouTube, and you know, people have a lot of comments, right? And people always say like, what about your teeth? How do you brighten your teeth? And honestly, my answer is Lumino. I love it so much. Their whitening strips, in my opinion, are elite. Those other whitening strips that I've used in the past, and I did used to use them, they would literally make my teeth ache. They would make my teeth and my gums so sensitive. It was almost like having like a headache in your teeth. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, good, because it's an awful feeling. But with Lumino, I get all that instant brightening. I mean, in fact, it's crazy the difference. I can put a little before and after here. The first time I ever tried Lumino, I literally lost my mind. I could not believe how it gives you this like nice, brighter, whiter smile. But again, it doesn't look fake because it's not fake. It's your real teeth. So we're not going full chompers where we just want to have a little bit of brightness. So definitely check out Lumino if you haven't already. I will leave their information linked down below in the description box. If you don't know where the description box, let me tell you. Underneath my head, you're going to see the title of today's video. Click on the word more, and then if you're on mobile, you have to click on more again. Honestly, ladies, Lumino is a game changer, and truly having whiter, brighter smile, it's going to shave years off of your appearance, and also it just ups your confidence. I love that feeling of just being able to smile. Now, the irony of this is not lost on me, that I don't know if you can hear it, but I have a little bit of a cold right now. And do you ever, like, when you get that dry feeling because you've been blowing your nose so much, I feel like I can barely smile because I just feel like kind of cracked, even though I've been slathering on moisture. Anyway, it's not fun, but Teeth really matter. And again, we don't want fake looking teeth, but you do want a brighter smile. We don't want stained teeth. We don't want aged teeth. We don't want like grayer looking teeth, because that definitely just makes you look not so great. Okay, so really quick, I wanted to just hop in here because I'm hosting an event and I haven't done something like this in years, and you are invited. It's called The Upgrade, and it is a 5-day experience. You're gonna get workouts from me daily. They're only gonna be 10 to 15 minutes, so it's like totally doable. Perfect timing right before summer. Get your confidence, get your fitness on, really focus on you. And we're gonna be doing daily coffee chats along with giveaways from some of my favorite brands. So I'll leave all the information linked down below in the description box. Definitely join us, and we start on May 12th. Okay, back to the video. Your eyes, the way that you do your eyes, this is one of the things that I see that a lot of women really miss the mark on this, because we forget about these little subtle things. And again, this is all about smoke and mirrors here. So when it comes to our eyes, we want to really add brightness and lightness to it, but also again, some contrast. So here's what I mean. One subtle, so simple little trick that I always do is I use sort of like a champagne colored liner on the inside on my waterline and my lower lashes. Now, why do I do that? Anytime we have light reflecting, that's going to make you look more light, more youthful, more vibrant, right? So I always do that in my waterline. Now what that does is it just very subtly will open up the eyes and make them look a little bit brighter, a little bit more open. This is really key. We don't want it to be white. You know, you can see some influencers that are like in their 20s, like I'm thinking about like Alex Earl. There was a period of time where she would always put this like really stark white liner, which I guess if you're 20, that's okay, but we want it to look natural. We don't want people to say like, wow, what nice white liner you have in your eyes. We want people to say, wow, your eyes look amazing. So doing a little bit of that champagne color liner in that waterline of your eye. And also, may he rest in peace, dear Kevin O'Quan, who was a makeup artist in the 90s, he kind of tattooed this into my brain, adding a little dot, a little drop of a light color highlighter in the inner corner of your eye. Little kids have this naturally. When you look at little kids, they have these like natural highlights. So if we do that, especially if we're a little bit older, it just brightens up your eyes, brightens up your face. Now this one's a little bit controversial, but it is one that I do like doing from time to time. I didn't do it today, but using Lumify eye drops. Those are those whitening eye drops. Anytime if I have to take pictures, or if I have like a night out where I really know that, you know, we'll probably take some pictures together, I'm going out with friends, or I just want to really look, you know, my best, I will use those drops. I do not use them daily. I know it's quite controversial. You know, if you don't want to use eye drops, don't do them, but they do whiten the whites of your eyes. The first time I ever tried them, I was like doing a photo shoot or something. And I remember I looked in the mirror to check the makeup after the girl had done, and I was like, oh my God. And it was because she'd used those whitening drops. My eyes just looked like so bright and white and open. Now, again, going back to the contrast. So that was like the lightening. Now with the contrast, even our lashes, these tend to get a little bit more sparse with age. I mean, it's tough out here, right? We are doing our best on these streets. So here's something crazy that I have started doing, and wow, what a difference it makes, is I will line the inner upper waterline with, in my case, I use a purple. It's like a plum colored liner. Sometimes I'll do the entire top waterline, but sometimes I won't, and I'll just do like from the pupil down. And what that does is it just kind of changes the shape of your eye. So you've got the light on the bottom, but at the top, it gives you more definition on your lashes. And again, this goes back to our first point of adding that contrast. I notice that when I do this, and especially like if I'm making a video or something, I notice that it looks almost like I have lash extensions because there's a definition and a little bit of a darkness around my lashes. It's kind of crazy, but it works. Now, again, I have blue eyes. I tried it with this sort of plum color. You do you. You know, if you've got like green eyes, maybe doing like a brown would look amazing. If you've got, I don't know, what some other color eye, you could try play with colors. But it's about that placement and getting it really close to your lash line and doing it in the waterline. It just works. And it's one of those things like, I don't know why it works, but man, does it work. And of course, we can't forget about curling your lashes. Again, that's always going to open up your eyes, make your eyes look a little bit more awake, right? Which we want. And the mascara. I stand behind this forever. Tubing mascara, always for the win. Why? I'm a girl who always would get smudgy. Anytime I use regular mascara, I will inevitably have it like all down my eye. And especially at 50 years old, the last thing that we want is having mascara down to our cheekbones. So it's really, really important to me that my mascara stays put. My favorite brand is the Cogen Dough. I can leave it linked down below for you. And because it's tubing, it just stays on forever. It doesn't flake, it doesn't smudge, and it doesn't give me those sort of like greasy under eye circles. So I end up looking like a little old raccoon. So make sure that you're curling, that you're opening up, that you're using a good mascara. And these little tips, I'm telling you, if you do nothing from this video, but just what I've told you about your eyes, you are going to thank me. And make sure to leave me a comment and let me know which tip you're going to implement and how did it work out for you, because I love interacting with you in the comments. And if you want to support my channel here, it's totally free to do so. Just tap on that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and let's keep going. Now, remember I said that we start losing contrast as we get older. And one of the places that I think is truly the most frustrating is our lips. We start losing our natural fullness in our lips, and it's something that I definitely experience. I think, gosh, now I'm 50. I would say when I was around like 42, I was like, what's going on with my lips? Like I just felt like my upper lip just was like blending into the rest of my face. That's just natural loss of collagen. It is what it is. Of course, you could get lip filler, but I personally am more of a fan of faking the lip filler. And the way to do that is just adding, again, that natural contrast with lip liner. The number one question I get asked almost every single video is what color is on my lips. I really feel like I found just a very, very good combination that works for me. I love using sort of a cool toned brown liner on my lips to give definition. Now, here's why that's really important. That way you are playing, again, we're playing with light and shadows, with contrast. So when you add a cool tone, more brown tone liner, okay, kind of like your lips but better, but in this case it is actually a little bit darker, you can sort of play with the shape. So what I always do is I kind of ignore the outer corners of my lip, and then I just focus on emphasizing this kind of like oval shape. What that does is it just gives you a natural looking pout. And because it's more of a cool tone brown, and then I use my finger to sort of buff it out a little bit, then that adds more shadow. So it just makes your lips look fuller, which I love. So I love when people are like, yeah, but you get lip filler. I don't. I do not get lip filler. It's the way that I put on my lipstick. And then I love using this Milani lipstick. I cannot ever remember the name of it. It's just this beautiful sort of nice pink, very natural, but putting that over the liner, in my case, obviously your skin tone might be different than mine, it just gives this beautiful, very flattering, very natural. And when I tell you, this combination lasts forever. Now, to note, that lip liner, the one that I like using, the Maybelline one, it is a little bit drying because it is a very long lasting. So it's just important for me that what I've learned works the best for me is slathering on like a really thick, I have this lip mask I got in New York. I don't know if I can find it, and if I can, I'll leave it linked down below. My friend bought it for me. It's like a Korean, it's super, super thick. But you could do like an Aquaphor. You could do castor oil, but I even feel like the castor oil, sometimes it kind of like comes off. This is thick. Like this stuff does not come off. And especially now with this cold, I'm like not only putting it on my lips, but I'm putting it underneath my nose and all over. Not right now, of course, because I don't want to look like a crazy person for you. But having that kind of combination of using this, but I'm telling you, this will last all day. I was just recently in London and I went to visit my cousin who lived about an hour away. And when I tell you, I put on my lipstick in the morning and then I don't think I came home until 5 o'clock. I ate fish and chips, you know, and was like drinking water and like doing the whole thing. I still had my lipstick on when I came home. Like this combination lasts. There's like some voodoo in this combination, and it's also, for my skin tone, quite flattering. The point is, you gotta figure out a way to add more shadow to your lips so there's more definition, because we don't want those flat lips that just kind of blend into our face. Like, I look at my daughter who's only 5.5 years old, and her lips are so full and so juicy, right? And then as we get older, we just start losing that and it just starts getting flatter. So playing with, again, contrast is what's gonna make a huge, huge difference. So those are my 5 things that I'm telling you. People are gonna be like, did you have a facelift? Did you get injections? And you know what your answer is gonna be? Thank you. Thank you so much. So I hope that you really found this helpful. If you wanna keep hanging with me here on YouTube, make sure to check out this video next. I will see you there.